Okay.
Oh my God.
So we've got brain around.
Yeah, it's just going to be a consistent. Well,
It's going to be consistent.
kitchen lights. Right, live on YouTube. I've seen it pop up.
Yep.
Get through straight away.
I've seen that pop up.
Yep.
So we're going to share it.
With YouTube, you don't. Well, you can share it.
Volume, please, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, go Wiley, because we're
good. We're good to go. We're good to go. We're good to go. Welcome to the MT podcast, the first MT podcast of 2025. I nearly said 2024, you know.
Oh, no, it's mad.
How many of you lot have said 2024 this year?
I haven't.
I haven't. You haven't?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I haven't yet. That was the first.
I've not really had to use the date like that.
I nearly referred to the wrong year. But in any case, welcome to the first MT podcast of 2025. This is the MT podcast. To my left, we have...
Sorelli, ever so slightly broken, and loving 2025.
To my right, we have...
Rain Nelson.
Wow.
And next to him, we have...
Citrus. Yaga yo 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 yo. It's Citrus in the house, and we're running the show. Ready for today?
That's what we want to hear. Next to him, we have... Oh, wow.
Man like Tongo, you're done now. 2025, we're there.
And last but not least, we have...
Buddy in the building, aka The Truth.
What was the thing that we had for Buddy that time? It was a bars. But he should have worked with it, and he didn't keep it.
Yes.
No.
Not young thing.
Our producer is getting
Shout
involved.
out to the producer, Jay, because he straight away... 2025 hasn't even kicked him with our first full episode. He's getting onto Buddy straight away.
Nah, it's
young
good
thing.
though,
Bud Young thing.
Why?
Yeah, what was the... Yeah.
Oh, well done, Citrus.
Yeah.
I am the B-U-W-D-Y.
Yeah, I thought it
Something
was
like that.
heavy. I thought it was heavy.
Yeah,
but
it was.
Oh,
didn't want
man.
to work with it. Didn't want to work with it.
But True Buddy's a young thing. It wasn't going to work. But in any case...
Well, you know what? That's not fair. Leave my boy alone. It's 2025. Are you still a young
true.
king? Or...
That's a good.
It's a good point.
Well, what are we saying?
Perception.
And I'll back you either way. Whatever you're saying, I'll back you.
You're as young as you feel, is what I would say to everyone.
That's
Are you feeling abused?
We're asking, do you still consider yourself a young
A
king?
young thing. Yeah.
I still consider myself of a reasonable age.
All right, well, okay.
Keep going, because you have to drag this conversation.
No, he's matured.
Made me tired.
He's matured into the answers, I mean.
Indeed. But this is the 2024 wrap-up. And what do we mean by the wrap-up? It's the wrap-up of everything that has happened over the last year.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the winners of 2024, the losers of 2024, the funny things that happened, the sad things that happened, and basically covering everything that took place over the year. But I will lean to my right and start off with Mr. Rain and ask him for a interesting point from 2024.
So what I'm going to do, just going to spell it out. I'm going to say it to everyone. In regards to it, there's going to be things that you guys remember from 2024. So what we'll do is I'll start with one, and then I might go to someone. Or whoever's got one, you say it. You can always come back to me as a fallback because I've got a list. I've got a long list. But you guys may have one that you want to discuss, and I might miss some of them. Right?
Right, okay.
So just so you're aware. So the first one I want to start off with is a bit of a it's a sad one. So I don't know if you remember last year, Idris Elba around September started up he had a campaign or started a campaign where he met with the government. I believe Keir Starmer and the Home Secretary was there, and he met with them to talk about blade crime, as he called it, but basically knife crime. So he was trying to raise awareness. They were talking about things in regards to prevention, what are the causes and whatnot. The reason why that links into what I'm going to mention is that this year, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, a young man by the name of, I've got his name written down, Kyla Bokassa, was murdered in Woolwich on a bus, right? Also, we're the 9th of January. So the start of this year, there have been 4 knife crimes already, where 3 out of the 4 reported are actually in hospital now fighting for their lives. So currently, right now, the youngest person to wield a knife was 12 years old. This wasn't in London, this was in Wolverhampton. What I'm leading to is that there is a problem with knife crime in the UK. So last year, between the times of December to December, 19,000 cautions were issued between people of the age of 10 to 17 up and down the country. So there is a problem. So my question is, and I think we were discussing it in the WhatsApp group, is well, firstly, I'm highlighting it, knife crime, bad, we need to do something. But what things do we think should be done to curb or to even stop people from carrying knives? What is, and maybe we go back and say, what do we think is the cause? There was someone who is an influencer or whatever said, if you put your kids in a tech fleece and let them wear ballies, they're going to attract. Well, he didn't say that. He said they will get G-checked. I can't remember his name. I'm not too au fait with all of those people. But is it clothing?
It was champagne pappy or pappy.
Whoever
fruit punch pappy. I mean.
All right, cool. So him. Is that a fact? Do we need to think about what our kids are wearing? What do you guys think?
I mean, we've covered the knife crime side of things about twice, 3 times, and obviously it's something that really touches me quite a lot anyway. It's been said before about doing the longer terms for people, like you just said, the amount of people that have been caught with it and got cautions. If they was getting caught and they was going to jail for a long time rather than being cautioned, it would then deflect. It will stop people from wanting to carry, or it's a deterrent to carry the knives in the first place. It's something that I don't think is just going to change by any other thing other than people being banged to rights when they're carrying it. So if you get caught carrying one, then you do go to you just hit jail. That's it, and that will stop people from wanting to carry them.
You know what? It's funny you say that, because I was having a conversation with someone today, and they said if I wanted to buy, and this is very extreme, but I get the point. Hopefully you do. If I wanted to buy a surface-to-air missile to shoot a plane down, how would I get it?
Couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me.
Black market.
But could I get it? I could get it. Black market, dark web, whatever it may be. So, but those things are only produced by certain people, and governments allow them in. So is there an issue that the government need to interject? And maybe this is what Idris was talking about in regards to, and I think you've mentioned this, about the sale of weapons and how things can be bought.
Yeah.
I think that's a hard one to kind of govern or to even put in place. I mean, these kids, yes, of course, you've got the extremes where they're coming out with what they call these zombie knives and these Rambo knives and all these kind of extreme weapons. But a knife is a knife. So butcher's knife, a bread knife, if the intent of that person is to carry a weapon or a knife, be it a knife, a screwdriver, it's still a piece of equipment that can do, you know, serious harm, and in some cases take your life away. So I don't think going after the actual weapon, of course there's the weapons where we're talking about, these, and I want to call them unrealistic weapons, because some of these weapons are designed so poorly because it's only based around the aesthetics that even the users sometimes will injure themselves because there's blades on both sides and all these kind of craziness. So those, they should be
what it is though?
Age. Oh no, not like there should be an age category or something, a bit like the way they treat porn. That strictly 18, you can't even go on a website and all this kind of stuff, and prove ID and all this kind of stuff. But even with that, if I sit here now and I'm saying, well, yeah, we bring it to the age of 18, somebody turning 18 today, tomorrow, next week, and then buying it then, does that really make a difference that they're buying it now that they're 18 opposed to when they were 17? So to me, that age thing, yes, it's obviously something that you can do to protect it and to try and govern it as much as possible, but it's about the education of that person who's buying the weapon in the first place.
I don't agree with you at all. Make it impossible to buy. If you can buy on the dark web, so can I. If I can buy on the dark web, so can the police, so can the justice system. So you have to find where these are being manufactured and where they're being sold into the UK, period. Someone could be making them in Japan, someone could be making them in the Isle of Wight, someone could be making them in Turkey or wherever. However, they're being accessed here. So you need to cut off the access point. If you cut off the supply, then the demand obviously will raise, but the supply is going to go down, which would remove a significant number of these types of weapons off the street, period. Firstly. Secondary, how it's policed. Now, there are things such as over-policing, which I fully agree with, but under-policing results in lives being lost. And my issue is the lives that are being lost are mainly our young people's lives. And when I say our young people's lives, I'm talking children.
There was 14 people murdered last year through knife crime between the ages of, I've got it written down, sorry, I should remember this.
That's okay.
Between the ages of 10 to 17.
Wow.
So for me, straight away, you can see where some of the problem lies. At the end of the day, if these weapons are accessible, they're going to buy them. They're going to use them. They're going to use them. The outcome of someone's life being taken away is much higher. Don't get me wrong. If it was screwdrivers or bread knives or whatever, it's still not great. However, some of these, I saw a video just on Insta as it goes, outside Westfield. And these boys, there was a fight, and this boy just pulled out this blade. The blade was half the length of his leg, and the security came out, and they surrounded him far enough that he couldn't attack any one of them, but they couldn't do anything. So he was acting like a maniac, and I was watching this, and I was like, his face was fully on show.
Oh, it was on show?
Was on show, yeah. So I was just
Ross.
like, in my head, I was like, there was no remorse. There's whatever he's planning to do, I'm going to do it anyway, and whatever. And in my head, I was just like, wow, this is mad. Now, evidently, if you get caught, are you getting cautioned? And if you're getting cautioned, are you back out doing the same thing tomorrow? Secondly, if you then go with heavier jail terms, what are the jails and prison systems? What does it look like? If it's a walk in a park where they're like, I'll go jail. Do you know what I mean? If the jail was like Guantanamo Bay, no one's going to be saying, let me just go there. Do you get what I mean? Now, I'm not turning around and saying build more Guantanamo Bays, but what I'm saying is the education is incorrect. And I've said this before, the parenting has to take responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. There are signals to tell you that your child is involved in nonsense.
That, and we're all fathers, fathers of sons as well. What signal? And there might be a parent, a father, or a mum who's watching this now, and is thinking, right, there might be those signals, but I've got no idea what those may be. What do we think that those signals would be?
All right, so there's two things. Not to go back, but you can get knives anywhere. You can go into someone's kitchen and get a knife.
Yeah, sorry, and let me just explain. There were 38,000 incidents which happened in England and Wales alone, and what they included into the statistics was sharp objects. So knives and sharp objects, screwdrivers, a piece of glass that someone's picked up, a smashed champagne bottle. But again, it's still classed as, comes under the banner of, or people will take it as the banner of knife crime, which I'm not against. Whatever it is, it should be classed as whatever it is.
So there's two things I want to say before I go into your question. The first one is, one thing that I think, as you just said about the banning of knives, it's impossible to do that. I just think it's something you can't do. Knives are going to be made in the back of someone's shed if they want to sell it, whatever the case may be. And a knife could be a kitchen knife. One of the incidences last year, I remember actually happening, the kid went into his mum's kitchen, took a knife, and then went out, and then something happened from it. But anyway, so there's that. There's also the fact that I believe one of the things that the government should do, and this is going to be something that human rights and everybody will absolutely lose their mind over, is I'm not happy saying a 17-year-old stabbed someone, killed someone, and they're getting a much lesser sentence or a juvenile kind of overview at it because they're considered a kid. Whereas if it happened 2 weeks later when they were 18, they're then trialed as a man. I think this knife crime thing, we need to start looking at lowering the age of what we consider
It
full penalty.
It was only a
He was only a child. Yeah, reasonable responsibility.
I mean, there's a double-edged sword to that. What you're
Yeah,
saying.
like I said, human rights and all those kind of things we'll look at it. But from what I'm saying, if you've committed that crime, I'm not prepared to sit back and say, oh, well, you know what, he's only 17, so therefore, if I'm a father and this has happened
You're going to be tried as a child. Or
child as a child. So because of that, kids know this, or young people know, boy, you know, I'm 17 now, you know, what's the worst you're going to do to me? You're going to... And this is something that you have to understand. Once you put a number in front of something and you say, you know what, this is the cutoff, people, human beings, will take it as close as possible to the wire as they can. That's just human nature.
But also remember, elders recruit the youngest to do these jobs because they won't get.
Like I said, they're taking it to as close to the as possible. So that's
going back to the original question.
Yeah, and then I'm coming back to your original question. So apologies for that, but taking it to the original question now, I don't think it's a case of, for most people, you wake up one morning and your kids now decides to, you know, do all these crazy stuff. I think, as we've said many times, these things start from almost birth. The connection that you have with your child from birth, the communication, the interaction that you have, where are you going after school? What are you doing after school? Where are you? What are you up to? What are you doing in your free time? Because, you know, as the saying goes, the devil makes work for idle hands. And if your kids are in a position where they have a lot of free time and you, your family, or no one's filling this time, they're going to find things to occupy that time. Be it maybe them sitting in front of a computer playing one of the popular games, Fortnite, you know, whatever the game is at the moment. That's something that they're doing to take up their time. Now, a lot of parents will say, you know what, I don't want my kids sitting in front of a computer all day long playing computer game or whatnot. However, other parents are saying, you know what, I'd rather that person be here.
I know where they are.
And I know where they are and I know what they're getting up to and this and that and the other. So is it accountability? Is it, you know, avoiding your responsibility or whatever the case may be? It's for you to then look at it in that way. But for me, the way to combat it as much as you can as a parent is to be almost overbearing. What are you up to? Where are you going? Come with me. I'm going here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Involve them in everything you're doing. So your life and their life is intertwined.
I get that. I hear what you're saying. But there are situations out there with parents where the child is 14, 15, going through puberty, where you can't say, right, I'm going to Sainsbury's, you're coming. They're staying at home. So again, back to the original question, are there any signs that we think that we might have seen, one of our friends has told us about, we might have gone through, that we can put out there, right, look at this, look at that. So there might be one where, like quite a new fad is potentially smoking and vaping. So if you're, and maybe more smoking, if your children or your child is smoking weed, potentially they've got to get that from somewhere. Is that a telltale sign that other badness might be going on?
I wanted to say there's 2 points. I hear your point, and I will answer your question. But I wanted to say something about regards to the where you get it from part of the conversation. I want to say something a few questions ago, and what happened to the acids when the acid attacks started to happen? What did they do that changed, that made the acid attacks disappear?
They put in age restrictions. They limited where. So the real corrosive acids, you could only get them from like builders merchants. And then when you get them from builders merchants, you had to provide your ID or whatever it may be to say that you were of age, and in some cases you had to prove that you were a tradesman.
Which is why they stopped.
And they limited the quantities you can purchase as well.
Which is why they stopped. Which was
I'm not sure it stopped.
When I say stop, it definitely reduced, because it came to a point where it was so rife. It was like people started getting scared of rolling down their window. It's like you roll down your window and you have it open, driving about. Someone could just stop it and just dash acid in your face.
But do you think that the acid attack was a fad for that time? That it was.
No, but what the point was, and what before we go too far off of it, right, is just the fact that what Citra said before about the controlling of it. That's how it stopped. That's how it lessened. That's how it near enough disappeared. Do you know what I mean? I haven't heard of an acid attack for at least a good 3, 4, 5 years.
But on knives, there is age restrictions. Age
restrictions ain't going to help it. I mean, like I said, I said in the beginning, put a sentence on it. If kids out there new to themselves and do it by the length of the knife, if you like, all right, they new to themselves. Raw. If I get caught with a knife, just on a random stop and search, and someone catches me with a knife, I'm going to be doing 5 to 6 years inside a prison. All of a sudden, it's like, rah. And if I get caught with a zombie knife, I might do 10 years.
But then to you,
I'm all right.
So then
I'm
what
walking.
Dean said that happened at Stratford, that boy was I say it was a boy. Blatantly, his face was out. People were recording. He had the knife and he was looking to chop anyone. So he didn't care.
Because there's no, you're going to catch me with the knife.
Right,
Then what?
okay, fine.
Because what's going to happen? I'm going to get a caution.
Because he knew.
And I'll be out by the weekend.
So
Have they changed that law yet? About where if it hasn't got, I don't know, Killer 3000 on it.
The
that-
name.
No, that's
the Rambo.
still there, I think.
That's
No. I think that's passed.
So my question then, and I suppose to link it back to 2024, 2025, as we enter into 2025, what would be the change we would want to see to ensure this is going to be slowing down or stopping? In 2025, what if we was the Prime Minister today, what law or what change would we put in place to say 2025, 1st of January or 9th of January onwards, this is now the law, this is going to affect
One
the situation?
of the things that I would do is,
Let's do one thing each.
controversially, I would increase stop and searches with metal detectors or the ones that they use in nightclubs and bars.
Airports
So
and
it doesn't have to be a whole thing. There might be the arch. You can do the arch. The arch, you can have a pop-up arch. Have a pop-up arch, set it up in
Random places.
different areas, bus stops, train stations, etc., etc. Hotspots, and can everyone now walk through? Everyone, can you all walk through this? As ridiculous as it sounds, everyone walk through this. If it goes off, can you please come to the side, sir? Can you please come to the side, ma'am? Blah blah blah. Enjoy your shopping day.
But the problem with that... Sorry, go on.
Go on.
And as much as it's going to annoy everyone, as soon as people believe, I can't go Stratford, I can't go Tottenham, I can't go Hackney, I can't go here, I can't go there, I can't go the other, because we know these arches are out and about, you will see less people, going back to the point that my brother made over there to say, right, if I walk through the metal detector and they catch me with a 7-inch sword, knife, blah, 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 I'm going to get 8 years. Either I'm not leaving my house, or if I'm leaving my house, I'm not carrying nothing. And as mad and draconian as that sounds as a society, what it will do, it will stem the notion of, do you know what? Let me take my things before I leave my yard.
Well, so I say we do one each. So I'm gonna kind of nick Buddy's one if yours was that. The sentencing age. I think that needs to increase. So whatever it is now, I don't know if it's 2 years or 4 years, whatever. It just needs to double.
Bro, you blaming my team bareface.
Wait a minute. The issue with it though is that if you remember, the prison service is bursting.
Listen.
Wait,
We only got one problem at a time.
Yeah, I know, but the prison service is bursting at the seams. We saw what happened earlier in 2004 when Keir Starmer became Prime Minister and he started to release criminals, which is fine.
In 24.
It's 24. You said 4.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Sorry. And I think it worked for the most part, but then if let's just say, if we go by the stats of 3,800 people in England and Wales were cautioned, I think it was, if they didn't automatically go to prison, we haven't got those spaces.
Or build more prisons,
Yeah.
tag them up, house arrest. Do you know what I mean? There are other ways of being able to govern, open and close brackets, criminals. Do you know what I mean? Or people with criminal intent, because I don't actually believe in the term criminal.
Right.
It's if people with criminal intent. So if with that, for example...
Wait, having 2 goes, Black?
No. I'm supporting the response. No. Like if we're gonna let's answer the question, innit?
Let's do it.
So if you think to yourself that there are people inside serving 7.5 years for
Tax
avoidance, for using like taking Wiley's ID and opening credit cards and blah 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 blah. 7 years. No disrespect. Don't do it, mate. Do you know what I mean? You are a menace, but you're a menace to the bank.
Yeah.
Do you
We'll
get
take
what
all
I mean?
your funds, lock everything off and whatnot, send you back out there.
Right. Versus Tongo now, who's stabbing man for fun, and because he's never been caught, he's like, and when he does get caught, he gets cautioned. This is crazy. I'm more than happy to substitute A for B.
Or
You know
I
what I
only
mean?
got 4 years.
Or you only got 4 years. Do
Or
2,
2 years.
Do 2 and yeah.
and do 2 or whatever. So there are ways to navigate it. You have to remember, if you allow the laws to govern the laws, and then in governing those laws, it allows people with criminal intent to commit crime, we have a problem. Someone snap that. Someone frame that bad boy just there. Yes, sir.
Nah,
do you get what I mean?
Don't even try it.
Have you got a solution?
All right, we'll come back to Tongo.
Buddy.
Do you know what? As mad as it sounds, and I know it's been said in a lot of different places before. Do you know, bring back community centres? Do you know what I mean? And
This man just stole my answer. go on.
bring back community centres where like people used to go get together, play football. Just it was a community. Do you know what I mean? And your ends was your this little part was your ends or your area. I used to go to my cousins sometimes. I used to hang around with all the people in the area. They used to know everyone. It was communal. And I'm not saying that's the big answer to everything, because people would then say oh, that's how gangs are formed. But there are things like just sports and activities done together that can then turn and change people's mindsets to say, oh, you know what, we're not going to go out there and do the other stuff.
Tongo.
If they're under the age of 18, send them to the army.
Bro. Under the age of 18?
Yeah.
Okay. But
What if they're caught with a knife, you're saying?
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than giving them caution, send them to the army until they're 18.
Frontline them.
What if they're 12?
Then they do the Salvation Army or
Oh,
whatever the
right,
procedure
okay.
is until the. Do you know what I mean? Because that will
What
give
would
them.
they do in the army
That
then?
will give them some kind of discipline. That will
Yeah.
give them some kind of realization of value in society,
Right.
and it should hopefully better them as a person.
But we say army, they're not going into active service. They're not,
No,
they're
no,
not going front
I'm not
line.
telling them to go Iraq. No.
Well, no active serviceman would serve with someone like that because they wouldn't be able to trust them. The whole point of the army is to trust the person that's next to you.
No, I mean, to give them that discipline,
Coming from an
regiment
army
them, to regiment them, and to, because I think a lot of these children, they have no respect for no authority. They don't follow rules. They don't listen to nobody, not their parents, not the police. Then even their elder, when the elder pissed them off enough, they'll go against the elder too.
Sorry, Tongo, I think you solve a couple problems there. Do you know what I mean? They find it difficult to recruit into the army. At the end of the day, people that are not volunteering, now it's mandatory. Do you get what I mean? You've got to go.
I do like it.
There's no middle ground with it. And then the other side is, do 6 months in one of those places. Your whole attitude in life changes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When they make you go and sit somewhere in the Outer Hebrides and it's they give you a t-shirt and say,
you think it's a joke?
and say carry this 20 kg backpack.
Right. With the gun,
Yeah.
which weighs probably about 10 kg with
And
the ammunition.
we're gonna run for 12.5k.
All right, kit safe.
All of a sudden you learn things.
Yeah.
All right, so ever so slightly broken, I would make it illegal for you to be a bum.
It needs to be what?
To be a bum.
You have to explain that. You have to explain that. You have to explain that.
All right. A lot of these kids who are getting involved in these gang crimes and these things, a lot of them have a lot of free time on their hands. So they're finding other things to occupy themselves, i.e. hanging on the streets. And I'd make that illegal. You have to be in some form of education, employment, training or something. This thing where we've got this black hole of kids who fall in this NEETs kind of, they're not in education, they're not working, they're not doing nothing, they're just in it. Then the government, as you say, have them go to the army or something. There has to be something to say, you're not allowed to fall into this trap.
So just to support you really, you're saying that school's finished. So in theory, you don't have a 9 to 5
You
anymore.
don't have a 9 to 5.
So therefore, if you are not working,
You're not in college, you're not in doing something which is taking up more than 50% of your time.
then you have to then sign up.
Volunteer time, basically.
Volunteer, no, you recruited.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you can't be, to me, there's youths. You go Westfield at Monday to Friday, and it is jam with youths walking around.
Sorry.
Do you know the issue you
Go
have
on.
is your one size fits all. Your net will be cast, and you're now going to grab everyone and everything.
Like I said, you don't have to be, like, I don't expect everyone to be painting walls and, but you cannot
community
be
service.
waking up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, going out until midnight, coming back home and
Playing COD till 7 in the morning and then getting tired and then going to sleep.
you're now seeing on TV, boy, you know what, I need to buy those new skins, Oh, there's some new tech fleece. All they've done is change the color and the lines now got plastic on it. I want that. How much is the tech fleece? £225 or whatever it is now. Boy, I need to go out and try and make a money. So you're thinking...
Don't say things like that. Rain owns Tech Fleece.
Yeah, I got a couple.
I got tech fleece.
All right then.
Wiley's wearing one now.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say.
if only. Shout out to Sha'Carri Signals, but yeah.
No, but this is what I'm saying. There's too much, for me, like I said, I think free time just causes problems. So take that away from them.
Wiley Cat DJ.
Right then, so 82 Twisted Soul, to support your point, said, clean the streets, graffiti, potholes. I would more lean on what Buddy said, which is the youth centres thing. And I think the thing about the youth centres, you see what you just said about the youngsters being on in Westfields, it's because they have nowhere to go. You think about yourself, when I'm in my late 40s now, when I was growing up, yeah, listen, I don't mind. I don't mind to say it. But my point being, when I was growing up, I was either in youth clubs or I was going shopping centre. If you think about it, when I was growing up, Wood Green was the new thing. Everybody was going Wood Green. Then it was, I remember in the summer of whatever year it was. Yeah, Trocadero. But my point being, in the summer of, when I was going to college, in the summer I'd be going Wood Green, Dalston, back to Wood Green, because Dalston had the new shopping centre at the time. It wasn't a big thing, but it was a shopping centre.
Yeah.
Then obviously you had Trocadero. Think about all the things that are
That
available.
goes out to Selborne Walthamstow.
Bang, bang.
Think about all the things though that are available for the youngsters today. What's available for them? All the youth clubs we used to go to, they're closed. All the youth centres are closed. So we're expecting them to use that vibrant energy they have and put it in the right places. And what it becomes, because they're young and they've got that energy with them, they become easy targets for these gangs to groom them and make them do what they want to do. Ray mentioned it earlier about the young boy, that was stabbed on the bus in Woolwich. It's sad to hear his own mum is saying she wasn't surprised he was stabbed because he'd been groomed into gangs from he was 6 years old.
You know that, and I know it's a thing to mention.
Was it taken out of context?
No.
That's what she said.
Bruv,
That's what she said.
But exactly, and I didn't want to mention it because the media run with that element of it now.
Of course they're going to.
And then they miss the fundamental thing of if the media were putting so much spotlight on how to stop knife crime with the Ben Kinsella Foundation or what it was, or Idris Elba's kind of thing, like support them, man. There, like why is it September Idris was talking about his thing and he ain't been on TV since? He might go on TV now because someone's died. You know what I mean? But it's almost like and this is where I think there's a bit of a mad thing about it, where it's like they want it to happen. Whether it be you think, oh, people killing each other is business, or is it the knife sales are business?
Unnecessary.
Wait, sorry, I'm biting my tongue. Who dies from knife crime?
People.
Are you talking about the demographic that we hear about?
Yeah.
Right. So
The demographic we hear about,
so-
all the actual crimes.
So who
Go on.
dies from knife crime, and how does it affect society? Because you have to imagine, as a government, I'm responsible for 65 million people.
Yep.
Yeah? Something like that? 65 million?
68 million.
Now, knife crime affects how many? 2,000? 3,000? 5,000?
Well,
What they consider to be the bad breed anyway.
Well, remember, knife crime incidents were 14,000, and it was 30% of those were England and Wales,
Right, so...
in the age of 10 and whatever.
But who does it affect? And let's not be confused and think it's just only young black men.
No, it's not. Oh, no,
'Cause
no,
it's
no,
not.
no, definitely not.
They're not
They're
even
the ones that are hitting
They're
the-
not even
the-
the highest percentage, right? However, because it doesn't affect the 65 million, the focus towards it is only going to be small,
Because you have to imagine...
unless
Sorry.
unless someone high profile or someone that doesn't fit the narrative then is openly affected by knife crime.
Which is what
Which without sounding bad or mad, is if it's a high profile person's child or relative, and it's like, oh my
That's-
gosh,
yes,
I
exactly.
can't
I agree,
believe
yeah.
Yeah.
XYZ's
Yep.
And
son.
he wasn't from that
Okay.
kind of
Daughter.
culture or that kind of environment.
And when that happens,
Yeah.
the focus changes. But until that happens, when it's little Billy around the corner or DeMarco who lives over there and Raekwon who's okay. Well, we expect 250 deaths of young people living in and around the UK. So it was just another number.
Within the M25.
Until, as I said, until something outrageous happens. And unfortunately, this is how the society works. So this is why you're going to get the same outrage for knife crime that the farmers get about restricted
Oh, the thing.
Oh, yeah,
the
yes,
inheritance.
yeah.
thing.
on the inheritance.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now, so
Yep.
so when you think about it, who does it affect? Do we care about the farmers? No, because we're in the city. We don't own farmer bud does, but apart from that, we don't own
Yeah.
farms, so we don't
Yeah.
care. Now the same thing, if them farmer man, none of their children being affected by knife crime, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't
so
care.
as a government, as a society, you have to think where they're going to look. However, Rain, I saw the time.
Yeah. So
And I know-
yeah.
So there is one other thing
Go for
Sorry,
it.
bud. Sorry.
that you made a very interesting point, and I glazed over it, and then we went elsewhere with it. Do we blame the parents? And I really wanted to go on to that and say, what are the telltale signs? Because I think that's very important for people that are listening to say to themselves, well, look, you know what, at the end of the day, what are the telltale signs if you don't know?
Do you have, because I want to say, let you handle that if you can think of telltale signs, and then we'll move on. Because I think we have, and this should be a topic that we cover in its entirety in the 2 hours that we've got. But we've been 47 minutes on this, and this is supposed to be a roundup, and there's a hell of a lot to go through.
Well, no, I'll let it go.
right, so
like I said,
we'll bring it back. and
Watch,
we'll do-
watch the Empty podcast in 2025. We will be tackling this issue in depth.
As many times as it's required.
Can
Indeed.
I say one thing before we move off, though?
Go on.
And this is just to kind of cement what Rain started with. So the last one to do was Idris Elba.
Yep.
Before that, we had Nigel Benn, who tried to do a college in Hackney. Funds ran out. And almost annually, people in the community try to do it who have some kind of funding. However, when their funding finishes, the project finishes.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to say.
Yeah, and I think when we do tackle this, maybe it is someone like an Idris, and it's even somebody that's actually gone through it. I mean, I can put forward even my uncle who's gone through it. That's been a part of been a victim of knife crime, if you like. And so I would love to have my uncle down here. He's got loads to say on it.
Well, we can do that.
And I mean, even like I said, if we could get someone like Idris to come down and speak on it, and actually put a voice, get the voice out there, and I will actually put that forward and say we'll tweet him, we'll do what we have to do to see if we can get a
and
response.
then obviously
for him.
people can tweet him off the back of at him off the back of what we put out there, and you know what I mean. Who knows what can happen? But yeah, we'll come back to that. So what I'm going to move on to is this is the roundup. So these are some of the most talked about events. So I'm going to kind of link it slightly. Hopefully you'll see the link. So former prison guard who worked in eMpTy Wandsworth, Linda De Souza Abru, was sentenced to 15 years. Does anyone know?
Months.
Months. Sorry.
I said 15 years.
Months.
She did a knife crime night here, yeah?
Months. Sorry.
Rain's
15
asked
months.
a certain man to submit the application.
No,
Yo,
yeah.
let
Jay
me.
brought out the 75.5 rum. That's what's licking. Anyway, what's everyone's thoughts on that? Is it too like, I don't know if anyone watched the sentencing from the judge.
I did. The judge's roundup was actually quite neat.
It was.
It was hilarious.
Neat. It was succeint. He was using
He was
bars.
Do you think he was
hilarious.
smirking though?
He was.
he was.
Of course he was.
Yeah, he was.
But,
He was.
but
That's why they
at the
didn't
end
do
of the
it.
day, no. At the end
Right.
of the day, obviously, this is now, you know, the UK following the US. We're putting cameras in
Yeah.
sentencing, so he knows he's on camera, and it's comical. However,
Not funny.
it's not funny.
Yeah.
And thank you, Shirley. That's perfect. It's comical. It is not funny. And what's crazy and what's mad? Shout out to the man them and the women them that are locked up in it. Some of them are listening to the podcast on their phones, on their laptops, on their tablets. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Now, my issue is this has happened, and people are outraged because it was publicized. But one of my close brethren worked within the judicial prison system, knowing that this is common practice.
Serious.
I got told that as well.
You're the bedroom I was talking about.
Man just outed himself. It was me.
It wasn't to me. I got
Wait,
told it.
explain. Common practice. What is common practice?
Sleeping with inmates,
Serious.
phones in cells, contraband,
Bringing stuff in for them.
Yeah.
bringing stuff in for
The guards, the prison guards.
Yeah.
bruv, more than the prison. When I'm saying, what you have to
We
think,
know that
right?
part, though.
In a prison, you have to remember there's food, there's stationery, there's supplies, there's repairmen, there is let me come and do the
Contractors.
CC
Yeah.
contractors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any one of those that get the green light to make a visit, whatever they're walking with has to be checked. Who checks it, when it's checked, why it's checked, and is it followed up?
Who's checking the checkers?
This is
Who's
where it goes
policing
into
the
the
police?
abyss. Do you get what I mean? What's crazy is if you go on TikTok right now, you can find man them inside, on jail, on live, on TikTok.
Oh no. I know
These
that.
things are minor. I've
It's not a minor.
No,
It's
but
not
I say minor.
because what it is, coming back to the point, sorry, but what it feeds into is my girl doing what she did with the inmate and his
Bedroom recording.
recording,
And recording it.
right, and recording it. What was said in the court case is it weren't the first time.
Yeah.
It weren't the first time, which says to me this is common practice. Do you get what I mean?
It wasn't her first time, or it wasn't the first time it's happened with someone.
It wasn't her first time.
Time.
But it's like, so what prison do I need to go to? But,
I mean,
But it was bare details. I want times. What wood? What wing?
So-
What do you want to make it Holloway?
so it's closed down.
I know.
But
Wanted.
Norris T knows the information though, right?
yeah, I applied. But the evidence is that it's common practice.
Right.
And that's my issue. My issue is she was unfazed to be recorded because it wasn't the first time. She had nothing to fear. Do you get what I mean? So even the sentence of 15 months is, boy, I can
Got to be half. Wouldn't it?
Snap that out.
Does that make our prison service look like a joke thing?
Not look like a
Like-
joke thing.
No.
It is a joke thing.
No. One
joke
second.
Go on.
But you're
Talking
going
about
The truth.
15 months.
The truth, the
Wait,
truth, the
and
truth.
what, you're going to do half of that?
Like the truth, because he's
Are
dead
you,
against
are you going to like say this don't happen in other countries? Or is
No,
it
no,
just our
no, we
country?
know.
We ain't talking about that,
Remember.
bruv.
But you said it makes the British prison system look like a joke thing. So isn't this just prison system in
Brother,
general?
if I've got problem in my yard, I don't turn around and say, yeah, but look at Ringdale.
No,
It
but
doesn't work like that.
Remember, this is
says?
from what I understand. I correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time something like this has been publicly put out there in the UK prison service. His
Yeah, man.
Majesty's prison service. So the question is, does it? Remember, the misconception or the view out there is that things that come from the UK are very prim and proper and structured.
And that the procedures in place protect people and make sure that we have a fair society.
So can I say something else though?
Go on, but-
You know, we've said, or Citrus has sat there and said that this is something that's happened before. This isn't a one-off incident. This is something that's happened before. Now, I'm not going to ask.
The judge said that. Not
I'm not
Judge-
I'm not going to ask these
Go on.
two. All right, I'm going to ask that side of the couch. Right? Has this something that you've heard of that's happened before in other prisons?
Yes, it is.
In UK?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, in the UK.
Yes, it is.
No, wait, let me
Go on,
finish
go
my
on, go on,
sentence.
go on.
Like that prisoners are banging the
prison guards.
Prison guards.
Yes, it is.
I haven't, but
You haven't. Thank
I
you.
live a sheltered life.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you. But
Yes,
like,
it is.
Yes.
I was not
Yes,
asking
it
this
is.
side of the couch.
Yes, it is. Let me explain to
You
you.
said yes.
Yeah.
You can go to
Yeah, go on.
explanation, and then you say
Yes.
you've heard this before as well.
Yes.
And go
There was an
on,
incident in the
go on,
paper-
Wiley.
Sorry, there was an incident in the paper a few years ago where somebody got pregnant from
The prison.
the prison.
prisoner.
Brother, things. Anyway, go on. Sorry,
Not,
I
not,
don't wanna-
not even
Hot,
not even about
Take off the
2
scarf.
Not even about 2 weeks ago, there was a female prison officer facing misconduct investigation about footage reportedly shared with inmates at her prison about her sleeping with a prisoner. This is in Northampton. It's a regular thing. The thing is, and it's not just about the female prison officers. It's also about the male prison officers in female prisons. It's not an unknown thing. It's not a new thing. The thing that was a shock was the footage that we
Posting
all
that's
saw.
on it.
The footage that we all saw, and it wasn't. And you have to look at it. It weren't just the the aspects of the sex taking place in the prison is the fact that, remember, the guy that was doing it was also smoking and whatever as well. So even if you take aside the sex aspect of it, the aspects of the fact that someone's smoking freely in a prison cell means someone could just walk in and walk past and not feel like, you know what, the smoke, even that alarm is an alarm bell.
It wasn't just that. You have to remember, if a prison officer walks into a cell, they have to be escorted. They can't be alone.
Oh, it got me too.
It has to be two.
Yeah.
So her being alone in there with the keys, for example, meant she put herself at risk, but she also put
The whole prison.
the whole prison at risk, because while she's doing whatever she's doing, if
The video on the camera.
cellmate
and-
Tongo snatches the keys and
The breakout, bro.
and knocks her out, all of a sudden,
madness.
the rest of the crew have access to the other wings. They have access to the catering. They have access to who knows what. Do you get what I mean?
With that, then, so what you're saying is that two people supposed to go in. So there's another guard that didn't go in and knew what was going on. You're saying?
No. She breached by going in alone. The act itself is bad enough.
Yeah.
But because she was alone, as a prison officer, she had access to exit. The same way all of the prisoners that knew that she was in the room, or just the inmate that was in there, meant that she put everyone else's life at risk.
Yeah, so Ray, when it comes to going in,
Yeah.
they don't just, we're going to go in now, or they're not all together twice, like two together. What happens is they'll say, we need to go into this cell for this whatever reason. So can I have assistance? And then that person will come, and then they will go in. It's not like we do a walk round or whatever with two of us.
Right.
Or two of them or whatever.
No, I just say it sounds like them man, they miss a trick then, innit? I mean, they're concentrating on banging my girl. They could have caused the most amount of madness.
Brother, you have to remember, they're comfortable in there.
They could have escaped.
Hence
Should've
why
been.
the
They
same
got green,
knife.
they got phone,
Hence why the same knife problem. Raid.
they got crips.
So, on that note, because given that we're talking about she's now been sentenced, I think I would say she's one of 2024's losers. So my question is, who was the winners of 2024 for you lot? One winner. Who was the losers of 2024?
Lyle.
One loser.
Wait. With that, can I do what? Can I do one more thing?
Go on.
Before we get onto that. So, musically, what was the highlight of 2024? Musically. So a few things to jog your mind.
Vybz Kartel.
They're not like us.
Freedom Street, Kendrick versus Drake, Capleton at City Splash. That's a few to jog your memory. What would you say was
Why are you using only your like people in music?
for Drake?
Kendrick versus Drake.
Kendrick?
Yeah,
100%.
What about the head? What about
No.
what about
Who was it?
Billie Eilish.
Who's that?
Kendrick.
Billie Eilish.
What did she do?
Kendrick
Bare
versus
things,
Drake.
24.
Kendrick versus Drake shook the whole world. It made people that never even had interest in hip hop, made people that never even had interest in disc records, in anything. They were glued because there was a period of time, I think, the end of April. It was only a couple of days. We're talking like about maybe about a week or 2 weeks. That small window made the whole thing mash up musically. It was such an unprecedented thing that happened between Kendrick and Drake. How the things were coming out, how the frequency of each song coming through, the level of people being involved. Nah, it was mad. It was mad.
So you're saying that music?
That for
was the
me,
highlight of-
musically, was the highlight of 2024, without question.
Anyone?
Musically.
Yeah, I've got a. In fact, before I answer that question, if you remember correctly, a few podcasts back, we actually spoke about Freedom Street, and you were saying how when he comes out, he's gonna mash up the thing and whatnot. Before I answer, what do you think of the actual concert? What do you? You being our resident.
He Vybz Kartel hosted a good show.
I like the way you put that because obviously all the other artists that came.
Right. So on the
But-
podcast, if we go back, I said that the show wasn't going to be.
The show was bad. It was all right.
Came off at one time, you know.
How can you say it wasn't going to be all that?
As I said, we were talking, and you was like, Carter was gonna deal with everything and whatnot. He's gonna perform, and Buddy was like, oh, so how was he before he went in prison and all of that? For me personally, I've watched it, and I don't feel he performed. However, to answer your question, for me, that was a highlight of the year.
So just to backtrack, he hosted the show. He was only ever gonna host the show. The man has music. I mean, hits. I'm not talking about just
back
like
catalogue.
throwaways. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He was only gonna, and what he did, he came up, he introduced himself in the suit and rare tear tear.
Stood there for 10 minutes.
He did a little rare tear tear. I think he jumped twice, and then that was him done. And then Spice come out, and then boom, and then he brought out everybody else. Then he had a little break. He was walking around to the back of the stage, and he was there, and then he wasn't there, and then he was there, and then he came out in the jersey, and then he did another 10 to 20 minutes, and then brought other people out. So, is it the musical event of the year?
So before you say that,
Yeah.
my question, because you were saying that you was jealous about one of your friends who was going.
Yeah.
Are you still
Yes.
having that same? Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
yeah. I like if I could have, I would have paid top dollar to be there.
The event looked like
Concert
it was
as
live.
a whole, as a package, was top notch, in my opinion. As a package.
Everything. I don't even care about that. Being in Jamaica, New Year's Eve, like I don't know if you watched the whole thing when they sang the national anthem, and then the boom was in time to the countdown, and then the fireworks bust at 12. Like being in the Caribbean, forget Jamaica, but being in the Caribbean, New Year's is amazing. But to be there in the national stadium was crazy. But again, I don't necessarily for me, I don't think it was the musical event of the year.
What was it?
I think it just about made the musical event of the week.
So what was your? Sorry,
reckon?
to go back to Rain. What was your highlight of 2024 then? Musical highlight of 2024.
See, I'm going to be very biased. And it's going to probably be Capleton.
I knew he was going to say
But
that.
that's because like I'm a Capleton fan.
You know, fast forward this part of the team. Just go.
I'm a Capleton fan. Like seeing Capleton perform is akin for me seeing God.
Russ.
No.
Hey, Jay. That bit there, edit it.
Lock off everything.
Edit the thing there, bruv. Edit the thing. Don't use the G word like that, fam.
Everyone's got. It depends on what you believe in and how you believe in God. Everyone has an artist who they are. Like they are really passionate about and who they live by their words. Capleton is one of those for me. I've seen him 3 times. Every time I see him, he hasn't disappointed.
Did you stay to the end?
Of course I say to the end.
Right to the very end when everyone was slipping.
The last song.
When everyone was
He
leaving.
just said God. If he doesn't go, it's blasphemy.
I don't even know. I remember me and Citrus left at the end or near the end. I don't remember seeing Rain Man.
But Capleton.
I'm just saying I don't remember seeing you.
Turn over the tape.
That's because he never left. Because he never left. That's why.
We circled.
Hey, he's still there.
What you're saying there is nonsensical, considering how many people was at City Splash, and you expected to see.
Brethren, you were a man that sits in your zone, fam.
Yo, man,
we know this.
Anyway,
But to add to the point that Rain's saying, there were some people that if they went and saw a Michael Jackson concert, that is them.
Especially-
For them,
especially
that
after
is
he died.
them.
I'll be there.
But for some people, though, going to a Michael Jackson concert when he was in his prime, we're talking the one he had at Wembley Stadium. There were people there that went to that concert that talked about that concert to this day, and that is their
1988 bad concert.
yeah.
I
and
was there.
And there were some people who still say to this day it's their best experience they've had in life.
right
in life,
exactly. And my dad, for example, watched Bob Marley at the Rainbow Theatre. He said, "There's
So did
nothing
mine.
ever, nothing.
So did my mum as well.
No artist in history that will top that
They
concert."
Wailers.
Who?
Who were they in the Wailers?
The 4 members.
But yes,
you
Rainer
said-
said his musical event. What was
You
your
said
highlight?
that
of 2024?
Cartels wasn't the musical event of the week. What was wrong with it?
I never said it was wrong with it. I just said it's just standard.
Right, what would yours be?
What was your highlight of the year?
Billie Eilish.
Music.
Musically, what was your musical highlight of the year?
Musically,
Yes.
for me, I don't know. There's lots.
Go on then.
Sorry, at the end of it, we have to ask Jay as well. Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Jay's
He can't say it's the concert.
I
so-
just want to.
Go on. We're digressing. Time is moving quickly.
Go on, Citrus.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't that. I put it. I didn't even know it was on. It was just like, man.
You knew it was on. Shut up, man.
So hold on. For the whole year, did nothing jump out to you to say, you know what, this is the best thing?
No. See, the thing is, I'm a soca man.
So it could have been soca.
Exactly, doesn't matter.
So it could have been
There
soca.
was no
No. Listen,
last year.
I'm a soca man.
Yep.
Please.
Go on.
I'm a soca man. So even though, and I loved, like, if you said to me, let's have a rave today, what music you gonna play? I will play dancehall because that's where I have the most fun. in a soca fit, we have the most fun. Do you get it?
You haven't answered the question.
The highlight.
All right, I'm about to finish.
Marshall Patel coming back into the scene.
Bruv, so for me, the music event of I think it was a non-star. I think 2024, no one's going to remember it.
Wow! Wow!
Keep it moving.
I mean, the only thing
Wow.
I would say was the whole Kendrick Drake thing, but I don't think it's memorable yet. I think in 10 years' time, if I said to you what happened in 2024, you'd be like, raw.
Cartel was
Nothing.
released. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Cartel.
Yeah, it was released.
Wow.
That's
And then
nothing to
did
do
Freedom
with
Street.
Kendrick Lamar.
But okay, fine. So
Anyway, go on.
So
Go on.
Congo.
Bounty be allowed to perform in England at a concert.
The Rubbish concert.
I liked it.
All
You
right,
might think
then.
it's rubbish.
Mad
No,
thing.
no, no,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rubbish
no,
one.
no.
That's his
He
musical
liked it.
highlight
Don't
of
take
the year.
him down. He liked it.
He liked it.
Well, the one we went to.
That was his highlight of the year.
Buddy.
His musical highlight of the
Funny,
year.
the one we was at.
Yeah.
That was his musical highlight
I mean,
of
if
the
he's
year.
really trying to say that's the best thing.
That was his musical
I'm
highlight
right,
of
I'm
the year.
just trying to judge it, please.
That is Tongo's reign.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Bounty Killer is my
Yeah.
artist, so for me to see Bounty Killer
Yeah.
after 15 years, when he wasn't even allowed to be in England, that is my highlight.
Okay.
Are we done?
But Buddy could even name 10 Bounty Killer tunes.
it's not the point free. It was boring as hell. I mean, you know what? Let me know.
What's your highlight?
Yes.
Do you know what? I would sort of say from the conversation that's been had, you'd have to say it was the Kendrick Drake beef because it ignited everybody onto hip hop. Even people like himself that doesn't even listen to hip hop like that. All right, is saying, well,
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Hip hop.
Yes.
Yes.
He claims to be. He claims to be.
We'll come back to that because
Yeah.
I've got another question.
Pop.
But that came from the question of who was the winner in 2024, who was the loser of 2024.
Kendrick won 2024.
Okay.
But in saying that, I still don't like his music.
Who was the loser?
But
Who's the loser?
Drake was the loser of
Okay,
2024.
Tongo.
What music?
Who was the winner? No, generally, who was the winner of 2024? Who was the loser of 2024?
I will come back to you.
The winner of 2024.
Yes.
Just in general,
In general,
Trump.
loser?
The musical winner.
No.
In general, in general, in general,
Pay attention. Keep
in
up.
general. 2024.
Keep going,
who won? Keep going.
You said Trump, loser.
Yeah,
Chicken dance.
go on.
Drake.
Drake. Okay.
Drake.
Yeah.
Right. I'd say for me, the winner, the loser, biggest loser would have been the Conservative government
Okay.
because of the majority that Labour hold. Loser,
You just said loser.
winner. I don't know. I can't necessarily think of a winner. If I was thinking about, because you could say Killer from being able to come back into the country, Cartel for being well, inverted commas. Maybe he's a clone, but we won't get into that today. You could say Kendrick, but then that's I'm thinking musically because we've spoken about musically. But yeah, I can't think of it.
So not the Labour Party then.
Really?
I would
Not
say
the Labour Party then.
Cartel for winner, and I would say Puffy for a loser.
Now this is where I was gonna go.
No, but
Go on.
But I would
Go
I'd
about
do
Puffy.
something musically. One more music thing. What was your biggest musical track for 2024? You personally, doesn't need to be something famous.
Not like us.
Not like us,
Not like us.
Don't know.
You have to come back to me. I can't.
buddy.
I can't think of anything that busts me
neither.
musically.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing screamed.
I told you it's a shit year for music.
Yeah.
So
All around, it wasn't. It wasn't.
the winner of 2024 for me was Cat Williams. Cat Williams was on the Shay podcast
Yeah, he
in
smashed
January
it.
of
Right.
2024, and it is still going viral and doing a madness
What is that doing for
in
him?
2025. What? It's not about
It's the truth,
what it
bro.
did for him.
So he
what-
can't be the winner if he's not doing anything.
well, no. Here's the thing: you're looking at it about it, what it did for him. What it did, it put him in a profile, and it highlighted the whole conversation of everything.
No, it
Oh,
killed
hold
everybody
on.
else. It didn't do anything for him.
It killed who?
He
Who did it kill?
Because remember, he was
Who did it
getting-
kill?
He was getting buried and dragged through the mud for time.
It did do.
Now
a
he
little
just
bit
brought him
different
back himself.
because in the same year, he released a Netflix comedy special, which did do
everybody
which did do
watched.
decent numbers.
Right. And here's another thing as well to take from it. Every time something happened negative to somebody, they linked it back to, well, Cat Williams said in his interview, 2024 is going to be the year of exposure. Did he had his madness? It's the year of exposure. Everybody going through Drake and his madness, it's the year of exposure. Everything was linked back to him. And he only, yeah, indeed. And he only had his interview in January. So you would think that throughout the year, it would have tailed off and died down. It didn't. So for me, that was the winner of 2024.
Well done, Cap.
Next topic.
So,
Where do we go? Where do we go? Right. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Was it fixed?
Yes.
Brother.
I ain't even seen the fight though.
Brother, no.
How can you say that?
Never saw the
You know,
fight. You know what? There's sometimes.
that's why you're sitting over there. Anyway.
If we had a baby chair.
I saw the round. I saw the round.
All right.
So
I
the
don't-
round. It went
Ready,
12 rounds.
ready. 8 rounds.
Wait, easy. Order. Smelly.
It wasn't fixed. It was a man doing his job to the best of his ability to get paid the maximum amount he could get paid for doing
Do you
that.
know what? This is why you sit over there.
Thank you.
And I'm in this camera. So when we have conversations, the cameras have to flip
Yep.
because I don't want them to see my face when you say nonsense.
No problem.
Like that. Can we answer the question?
No,
Can we answer the question?
so
Can we answer the
come back.
When it
question?
comes down
You know the
to
worst thing? For the first time, I think I actually agree with you on this one.
Can we answer the
answer the question.
Because-
Answer the question.
because apart from the spectacle that it was, if you looked at the contract and the performance, it might as well have been a WWE bout. It might as well have been a. If you watch the fight back with the commentary and look at the contract to say, 1 second, he's not allowed to do any uppercuts. Wait, what? Mike Tyson's walking around for 6.5 rounds biting his glove. When in a boxing match have you seen any boxer fighting a man like, I'm gonna punch you, but I'm just gonna bite my glove so I can't punch you because I have to dumb down
Because
my
if I-
killing. I'm gonna finish. So I'm gonna dumb down my killer instinct, and then like an idiot, you're gonna sit there and pay to watch a pantomime because that's what it was. So after I watched, I don't even know which one of you I spoke to, but after I watched it, I was like, I don't get it. I had to watch it again. I had to watch it immediately again because I just couldn't understand it. Only until the full contract got released, and I was like, oh, okay, this now makes sense.
I never read the contract.
So if Jake Paul went down before the sixth
Every round, his pay got reduced.
before the 6th round, it was something like he wouldn't have broke even. You get what I mean? Not to say Tyson's legs were finished because they were finished.
Yeah, but
Do you know
Tyson,
what I mean?
but are we saying that Tyson would have took my man out first round?
Yeah.
100%.
Easy.
Yeah, he would have ate him.
But because I see Buddy as the boxing expert. What are you saying?
I mean, when you watch the fight, Tyson. Tyson was exposed for a long time, brother. He's. I mean, something that was said actually, funny enough, on the podcast was that Jake Paul being too young, and I looked at it after when I was watching. I was like, it looked like he was then there with his granddad. It did look really bad. Now, on the contrary to what Citrus has just said, if those are the rules that they've put in front of Tyson to say he can't do certain things, now you put chains on this old man as well. I'm like, ugh, I mean, it was inevitable.
What did you expect?
Yeah, it was inevitable. Everything was as inevitable.
It was a money-making scheme. Let's see it for what it was. When they turned around and they said, we're going to get Mike Tyson to fight Jake Paul, everybody was like, what? Iron Mike, kill a man, bite your head off, bite your ear in the ring with this young dude.
But he's an
Let's
old
be
dude
honest.
though, isn't it?
Safe. But those skills that he has are still there. When you saw him training, he weren't on, how old is he, 55 or whatever?
58.
58. He weren't on, I'm 58. He was on, I'm looking to take your head off. Now, to do the screen flipping between me and Citrus, the contract, as you rightly stated, was the longer he stayed in there, the more he gets paid. I do not know Mike Tyson's financial prowess. However,
He got 20 million for that.
and he was happy.
No. He got 20 million just to be in the ring.
Oh right.
It was just to be in the ring.
So then, so what? All of the excitement, he get more.
There was more. There was
right.
a lot more.
So
That's why we ain't seen him for us.
yeah. So he's at that age and he's looking at, boy, you know what? I need to make my retirement money. If that means I have to stay in the ring, let's be honest. Would you have not lasted the 8 rounds and made him win if that meant you would have got an extra 100 million.
If I could take a punch like that, yeah, I'll run around.
You know, and towards the end, like I said, Jake Paul carried him towards the end.
Yeah, brother, he was getting paid. That's what it was. They wanted us, to sit in front of the TV for the 12 rounds. Because that time...
8 rounds. Did you
Sorry, 8 rounds.
Yeah,
sorry.
8 rounds.
That 8 rounds.
Watch one round with Tongo.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 8 rounds. Yeah. They wanted us to sit down there and watch it for that duration of time. That's where they made their money. And because of that, they did everything they had to do to make that happen.
Wiley, you were saying.
Right, I was saying because I don't believe it was a fix. I don't believe it was a fix. All this talk about... All this
I do
talk
what I need to do to make my money.
All this talk about the contract clauses, there's rumours about these clauses, but yet the people that was involved in the fight have said, okay, if the clauses were there, produce them. No one's produced these clauses. It's a theory people have. Now, the thing people forget, everybody looks at Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson was looking in shape at 58 years old. Yeah, he was looking very good for 58 years old. But they forget the Mike Tyson that was fighting at the back end of his career. People forget he got beaten up by Danny Williams. People forget his last 4 or 5 fights he had. So he wasn't in it, he was battle worn. So it's not to say Mike Tyson was the same Mike Tyson at 20 years old who was knocking a man out for fun. Mike Tyson at the end of his career was getting knocked out for fun. So Mike Tyson weren't at a stage where he's going to come into a ring at 58 years old, fighting against a guy who's been fighting regularly.
Who is not a professional boxer.
Who's been fighting.
So it doesn't matter.
Who's been fighting regularly. It does matter because he's been fighting at a boxing standard. Whether we want to say he's not been fighting professionals or whatever, he's been fighting consistently for the past 5-6 years. We're expecting a 58-year-old to go into a ring who hasn't fought since nearly 20 years ago to go in there and suddenly be the Mike Tyson of old. It was never going to be the case. And I said that on the day when we were talking about it.
Two more. So your comment and then your final comment. I'm going to move on.
A wild.
Still going to be boxing.
Yeah, all right, a wild one. Does Mayweather beat up Jake Paul?
Mayweather?
Yeah.
Possibly, because Mayweather has still been doing exhibition fights for the past 10 years.
Not even just because of that.
Possibly. I would expect so because he's been consistently fighting.
Right, moving on swiftly. Same track. Should Anthony Joshua retire?
No.
He needs to fight
No.
Fury.
No and no.
Why?
He don't need to fight
Why
Fury.
does he have to retire?
Because of the last match and he got beat up.
Okay.
Fighters lose, though.
Okay,
innit?
fine.
Yeah, I get it. Remember, this is what
He
happened
never said
last.
lost, he said beat up.
This is what happened last year. So I'm not a boxing man. I don't really do blood sports. So I'm asking you lot.
Now, that was one of the biggest losers of last year. I forgot about that.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either.
I don't think he was.
Money-wise, because he fought in Ghana.
No, not forget about money-wise. I don't think he was because the only defeat, if I'm right, he had last year was against Dubois. And going into that fight, he'd only had the victory against Ngannou, and Ngannou's not a boxer. So him knocking out Ngannou wasn't a big shot because we all thought if Ngannou
he had
goes...
other fights.
Sorry?
There was another few fights. But
Did he lose? Did he lose last year though? Before Ngannou? Before Dubois? No. So that's what I'm saying. He didn't have a defeat before that fight. So my point is to say, him going in there and knocking out Ngannou wasn't a surprise because we expected that from the Fury fight. Fury just took him as lightly, whereas Joshua didn't. But I don't think he was the biggest loser.
I mean, when you got up out of your seat and said, boy, don't disrespect me like that. You know what I'll do to you? I'll put this chair over you, run his mouth. And then a couple rounds later, I see you on the floor, sticking out your tongue.
Moments later.
And then out flat, can't put your... I'm like, yo, AJ, I like AJ. Fact, I like him. I think he's a nice person as well. Like one of the guys in boxing, I think is a nice person. But yeah, you kind of looked like a bit of a fool at that point.
Well, the thing is, I think he looked like a bit of a fool for how he lost because of what happened prior to it. But I don't think it was the biggest defeat. And I also don't think he needs to fight Fury because that has gone. The whole of that fight that we wanted to see is come and gone.
But you have to remember, now, if they're fighting for sheer pride.
They're fighting for second place.
It doesn't matter. This is a pride thing. We've both lost. We both ain't got no belts to lose. Now, this is sheer pride. I want bragging rights. This is like we're fighting as man to man. Forget all the fluff. Forget all the bells and whistles. We're now fighting so that we can walk down the road with our heads held high to say, yes, I'll bust you up.
And just on the last point, shouts out to Usyk because he conquered everybody in England. All the British champs, he went through them. And as much as I was rooting for every one of the British guys that he fought, all right, I kept sitting there and thinking to myself, he wiped every one of them out.
You need to say Sir Usyk, blood.
Yeah, I mean, bad man.
I've got loads more. What I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to put it out to you guys in regards to events from 2024. So have a think about it. Going to keep it sport. I can't remember her name, but you should remember her name. The young lady from St. Lucia who won the 100 meters. Yeah.
No, what's her first name? Is the question.
I don't know her first name. I knew her second name.
Julian.
Right. So obviously she's one of the biggest winners. The question would be, were the Jamaicans scared? Will she retain that at the World Championships? And is she one of the biggest winners? I think she probably is.
One of the biggest winners, yeah. But I don't know if she retains. But there's not really much.
Okay, where are Jamaicans scared then?
I don't think so.
No.
I think just looking
A lot of
at how
controversy.
looking at how long. Wow, Jay's head's gonna come off his neck the way he's shaking his head. You know,
Looking like one of them
producer
dogs
Jay's,
in the car.
yeah, you know,
You're the ones in the
exactly.
car.
You know, no, I don't think the Jamaican athletes were scared. If you look at how long, I've forgotten her name. You know, the 100-meter champion,
Shelley?
Yes, Sha'Carri Fraser. How long has she had been consistently winning? And where did she come in the final again?
She didn't because she didn't run.
Oh no, she didn't run. That was it.
They
She didn't
didn't
run.
let her in, but the Americans.
So my point being is that I think that I don't believe she was scared, but she's been doing it so consistently for so many years. I don't think you can knock her credibility for that. I think the person who really you should be looking at is Sha'Carri Richardson, the American. That's who I think we were looking at and saying, right, it's her year. She's been doing all she's doing. It's her year. And I don't think that she did what needed to be done. We can't really say that for Shelly-Ann Fraser because she never got to do the run in the final.
But I guess Shelley is proven, as you say,
Yeah.
she's one of the most
track record,
decorated.
innit?
Yeah, but the Sha'Carri, obviously, she was hyping and she didn't perform. And then out of like, who thought that the St. Lucian woman was going to win? Who knew ahead of time?
No
one.
She went.
But
She
it was
went
good for the
first.
sport.
No, 100%. And
It was
it still
amazing
is.
for the sport.
It still is.
Like Noel Laus is another one.
Yeah, that's
he
that.
had no
Noah
right to
Laws.
come in there.
He had a very bad, very bad Olympics.
Right.
Definitely.
So I'm going to put it out to you guys. Events of 2024 that were most memorable, or that you want to discuss.
The funny thing, I think the big thing for me was the change in government over here. And the government changed, but I've not really seen a lot that has changed. So we've seen a new government come in, maybe because they've had to deal with a lot of the mess that was in place. I'll tell you what has been interesting. This whole conversation about the grooming scandal and how the Conservatives have jumped out the window saying, oh, you know, why are you not dealing with it, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Weren't they in government for 14 years? So if you didn't deal with it in the 14 years, how are you now coming at other people who've just been in there for less than half a year? It doesn't make sense to me. But for me, 2024, big event, change of government, 100%. 100%.
I'd agree. I think 14 years you said? 14 years of Conservative, whatever it was, and to have a Labour government. But I always just think that Labour governments are always on the back foot, regardless of what the situation is, how the country is set up. They're just always on the back foot. It's like, it's almost like, and I'm probably going to get shut down if we put a TikTok out or whatever it may be. It's almost like the Conservatives do what they do. They reap all the rewards. They give their contracts to whoever. Their men, they make money. They do that for a period of time, a decade or a decade and a half, just shy. And then they give it to Labour. Labour take it for a period of time, try a thing. They do some wackiness, because I know there's been some things about Jess Phillips and
The pensioners.
yeah, there's that, and then there's what's her name was, but no, I think Keir Starmer was. There was that issue about him having the
suits,
not the suits, and then the season ticket at Arsenal. Then he got a box at Arsenal and all of that,
Which
So
is
there's-
foolishness.
Is it?
He claimed it out and he made it public. It wasn't like he did it in secret.
Well, I think no. His season ticket he bought, the box was given to him, but then under the Bribery Act, I think you have to declare that.
He
stuff.
did declare it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if you say he did, you did. But again, I think you're right. I think the Labour government being in power is a big thing, and a big change for the UK and a big thing in 2024.
For me, Donald Trump coming back into power is wild.
Did no one see this coming?
Wait, you didn't?
Sorry.
Are we not going to go back to the podcast?
Yeah. But in fairness, if you look back to my statuses on Facebook, when Donald Trump was taken out of office, one of my first things said he will be back, and I'll screenshot it and put it into the podcast group.
Do you write bare things on your Facebook status?
Not now.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Reference it. Don't try it, bro.
He'll be back. He won't be back. Maybe he will.
So with that, did Donald Trump win the election?
No, they bottled it.
Or did Joe Rogan and Elon Musk win the election?
No,
What? No. All that happened was
Democrats bottled it.
what's his name?
Biden.
Biden lost the election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biden folded.
That's what happened.
Because the thing is, she done well to
There's
come
a
back.
massive difference. What you have to remember is when an election takes place in America, it's about a year and a half
Of campaign.
of campaigning. He rescinded his position 4 months.
No, I don't think it was 4 months.
Three,
Yeah.
4
Something,
months
yeah.
It was
before
ridiculous.
the elections went ahead.
And at that time, the funding that they got, they
And-
couldn't transfer it
Yeah,
over.
all of this, there's a lot. There's a lot, and America's a weird place anyway. You know, it's like it's not.
We all don't have that view.
But like I'll be very honest. I'm gonna move it ahead if you don't mind.
Go for it.
2024 versus 2025. Things like I'm gonna have to pay to go through Blackwall Tunnel. What's going on?
Is that in effect?
It's coming
March.
next
March,
month.
April.
So if
No, it's next month,
March.
bro.
No, March. Starts in March.
You sure?
if Sadiq Khan, oh no, he's not up for a re-election in regards to he's won the team. He's there, innit?
Yeah,
Sadiq's
there.
riding rhythm now.
Yeah.
That's him.
He's one of the big.
He owns it.
Yeah, that's his
He's
rhythm.
one of
London
the
is him.
biggest.
So I just feel sorry for people that live around Tower Bridge.
Starts in April. The fees
in April.
starts in
End of
April.
How much?
April, in March.
Sorry.
It'll be £4 at peak times each way
£6.50,
and
bruv, I got a van.
£1.50 off peak times.
£6.50. We got vans.
Yeah,
That's for Blackwall Tunnel
Yeah.
and the Silver Link.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going through the Dartford crossing now.
Yeah, because it's cheaper. It's gonna be cheap. It's gonna re-divert the traffic.
Oh, you can't go through the other Rotherhithe.
I mean, we can't go through
Yeah,
Rother
'cause of the
Hive.
vans,
Not in the size of our vehicle. So there's that. But there's lots of other little things.
go for it.
Things like train stations opening. You know,
Oh, that was on my list, but yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Shout goes out to Wiley renaming his station. Shout goes
Foolishness.
out to Buddy on the mild main line.
Foolishness.
The stations do we carry here,
Brother, how much did it cost to do that?
Lioness,
It-
Mild
Lioness,
May,
Mild
Windrush,
May,
Windrush,
Windrush.
sorry,
Suffragettes.
Waver,
Liberty.
Suffragette, and Liberty.
How much did that cost?
What's the point?
No.
The point is to make users
it
that
does
are living
make
around
sense.
me. The point
because
is-
before it was just Overground.
Yeah.
And Overground just went to bare places, but they never linked. Do you know what I mean? Where are you? I'm on the Overground. So you're on the Overground, I'm on the Overground. Cool, let me come to your yard. Nah, bro, you got to go over there, cross over so
On the
and then
underground.
come back underground. So now for the new
While he's boiling, watch him.
for the
No,
new
no.
people, them
Go on.
should make sense. Why they can't say nothing? He'll
I'll
play
tell
music
you-
at the opening of the line.
I'll tell you the funny thing about it. I'll tell you the funny thing about it. Go
Man
on.
saw the lines, the cost of the rhythm going up while he shook his hand, smiled for the camera. Didn't even have an empty podcast up on. I'm
I'll
not interested in nothing.
tell you the funniest thing about that, and I'll keep it quite brief. There's more confusion now.
Yes, 100%.
Passengers are a lot more confused now.
And,
I'm not
and to be
surprised.
fair, that's okay. Because anytime you have anything in transition, that's what you're going to be faced with.
No,
No, but there's no
I
connection.
can't. Yeah,
Like, wait,
it's very confusion.
people that live here are confused because it's a change that they're not used to.
Right.
If you've never been here before and you come
you
here,
come here, and now
it
it's
makes
like-
sense.
No, Tongo. As someone who's experiencing it, people that live here, people that are not living here, everybody is more confused.
Only
The whole
because
thing
the
has
people
been
that
a
are not living
confusion.
Here, when they come here, they're asking the people that live here that are confused. How
So they don't know what I want.
Even you know people them don't know. So then, therefore, of course, everyone's back. Do you get what I mean? The way I see it, is, like for me, I take my hat off to the whole London Underground system, because if you go overseas and you travel on
public
their
transport.
Public transport,
Public
anywhere.
transport
You come back here and kiss Wiley.
it's all really. It's all bro.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
Germany.
Goes-
Go
yeah.
Germany.
Yes.
Germany.
Ross.
Go Germany.
I've been to Spain.
I ended up in Denmark, bro.
New York.
And he's not even lying. Didn't have shoes and
New
everything.
York's easy. I can't lie.
Spain
New York's
was
easy.
Nah.
France
Rain.
is.
Trust me.
France, I haven't been on the metro.
to public transport, the UK's public
London.
transport system-
I would say
thank
London
you.
specifically.
Yeah,
London
it's up there, bro. It's up there.
London specifically.
One of the best in the world.
But there are other things that like I got gripes with.
Go for
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Grind gears. What's it called?
Yeah, grime, I guess.
Yeah.
None of the trainers actually make sense.
There are things that that when I think of 2024, like I was very proud. My daughter finished university.
Right thing.
Do you know what I mean? At a Russell Group University, she did really well. And she said to me, she's finding it hard to get a job. I was like, that's normal. She was like, oh no, I thought I'd just get a job because I got a degree from a top 10 university. I was like, okay, no problem. All right, no worries. She goes, but it's not just me. She goes, out of the, I think she said 218 that passed in her group, 2 of them have full-time jobs.
It's mad. But
So in my head, I'm like, that's 65 bags worth of debt. And she's now thinking, what can I do to start paying the debt off? Rather than, how can I forward my career? I said to her, there's more than one avenue. Do you get what I mean? But it's just crazy to think that she's worked so hard for so long, got to this point, and now is a bit disjointed with the system here in the UK. Whereas others on her course are now looking overseas
yeah.
to get work because they've got the UK degree. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's and I'm not saying that she should be guaranteed a job, or any of them should be. Like, be judged on your merits. But I'm just like, well...
Is that because of the industry that, not going into detail, but do you think it's got anything to do with the course or the industry that she's specifically looking in?
The crazy thing is, as I said, it's not... If it was just her, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. 2 out of 208, I think it's 218 or 80, I can't remember the number. Obviously, I was just focused on her, innit? But just to understand that the whole year group is now looking at retail work, volunteering work, gonna go work overseas, some are gonna go back into education, many of them had to go back and move in with their parents.
Right.
And I was like, are you sure that's just not you? And she showed me the WhatsApp chat has like 700 people in it or some mad crazy number. And I was thinking, why is it so high? So there are friends of the Russell Group universities that have all joined, and they're all saying, okay, these are recruiting, they're only taking 10. Do you know what I mean? So the best 10, you go and apply. And I'm like, what does it mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
Do you think that's why there's so many influencers and so many people that are using TikTok to make money? Because I get vexed certain time, I'm not gonna lie. Like, man are telling me that they don't have any product, but they do a thing, affiliate marketing or whatever, and then one girl I was watching on TikTok, she said that she makes £2,000 a week.
Question: do you buy anything from TikTok? Have you ever?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
No, but people in my household do.
I've used it twice,
As in purchased.
purchasing twice.
So, Buddy and I are in the same boat. Why not?
Just never gone on it like that to look.
Ignorant.
Do you watch TikTok then?
A little bit, yeah. Like if it can catch me,
your point.
but I don't. It doesn't.
I think that's the difference in it. If we were to look at the users, the usability from Rain, from Relly, from Tongo, they may use it more.
No, I actually use it less. But what it is, if there's
Less than Buddy.
Yeah, if there's specific things that I'm looking for that has gone around and people are talking about it, then that will draw me to look for it.
Is everyone on TikTok?
I have an account.
What I'm gonna say, we do this off air. Let's have a look at your For You page and see what comes up. I can tell you what you've not been looking at.
What's for you?
It don't matter.
You know what's mad?
It don't
all
matter.
right. So let's do it offline and then post it on the group.
No, don't post it.
Raise that.
So he's trying to save you right now.
No, man porn.
No, there's no porn on TikTok. There's no porn on TikTok.
There's no point. I
No
don't
wonder I don't use it.
TikTok as
And the truth will set you free.
TikTok as a marketplace, like you get some good stuff on there. Like,
Yeah, man.
I use TikTok for restaurants and holidays, or to look at the.
I use Instagram for those things.
Yeah, but it's not as I don't think it is as good. I personally don't think
That's true.
The,
I think-
the passage between I go on your TikTok page, you make a recommendation, I can purchase, I believe is swifter on TikTok than it is via Instagram or YouTube.
Yeah.
Funny, we're streaming off of Instagram right now, but anyway.
And the thing with TikTok is a lot of people may know this or may not, because it's such a massive thing. Like you can order something off TikTok, and then when you receive it, if you say you don't like it, you're supposed to send it back. But because it's such a money-making thing, they just say, don't send it back.
Hold on to it.
Oh, we're going to give you your money back.
Amazon used to do that at the start.
Oh, Team
No, it's not
does.
eBay.
That's what Team does.
Yeah, I know.
Right, you got bare TV stuff here. It's like, like listing.
I've seen it, but I haven't
I know
used
you're
it.
not serious.
It's like
Oh,
that.
geezer in the chat.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know, young things, bro.
Right, do you know what SHEIN is?
Shein.
Yeah, do you know what SHEIN is?
Look at this old geezer in the chat.
Are you joking?
Old boy.
No, are you
You've
joking?
got young thing and old boy on the same time.
No, are you joking, bro?
You do care. He does care. He does care.
He doesn't know.
SHEIN.
SHEIN.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
You don't know Shein?
Bomba
doesn't
Skeng
know.
and Leng.
As in she, him.
You're playing about with everyone,
He
right?
doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't
He
know.
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
No, he's
Old boy.
playing, bro. I'm sure he's playing.
No, he's not. He's not.
Wait.
He's not. He's not.
That's your homework for next week.
Nah,
For real.
I can tell by his socks.
Hold on.
SHEIN.
He don't know.
No, he doesn't.
He don't know.
That
He don't
sounds
know.
like she's in.
He don't know. So 2024's
something
homework. 2024's homework for me was to watch Supercell. Your homework is to find out about
quality.
Timu and Shein.
Have you done it yet?
Yeah, I watched it. Watched it.
you
Very
think?
good. I thought it was really good. I think that there's that's a highlight for 2024 for me.
Ratman was a winner.
Yes, yes, and I like the fact that it was done in a way where the story didn't lose the focus of sickle cell. That's what I thought was
And
good.
losers, Marvel.
Ooh, why Marvel?
No.
Marvel died 2024.
Deadpool.
No, it died. No, it died after I should have aimed for the head. That's when it died.
Yeah.
That's when it died. Don't blood.
Marvel's been dead
Avengers.
for a while. Let's-
No. Not for a while. Don't do that.
But
Don't do that.
Deadpool.
I watched
back a little
Deadpool.
bit.
You watched
Yeah.
Deadpool?
Yeah,
You
Deadpool.
watched
Right.
Did it die?
Deadpool.
Yeah, cool.
Of course.
Did it die? Due to the fact of what happened to I forgot
No,
his
no,
name
Jonathan
now.
Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
No.
Was
because that didn't come out.
Was
That didn't come out.
was the
was
Council
wrongly
of
done,
Kang?
Wait,
Was
so
it Kang?
John Mayer.
Yeah. Was that gonna
No.
be
No.
the next big thing?
No.
In our opinion, no.
That was
Okay.
All it did was it would allow the door to be open wide enough
For them to get.
for
yeah.
other things to be. But Marvel
Even
Disney
with the
been
little
doing too much.
series things that they've done.
What if?
One Division.
What if?
One Division was good.
Division-
One Division was
the
good.
two, the One Division 2, where they've introduced what's his name, son and whatnot. That's a foolishness.
Loki?
Agatha all along.
Young Avengers.
Agatha, you mean?
Yeah, Agatha. All of the
Agatha's
Young
good.
Avengers thing, all of
It
that.
was good, but it wasn't Marvel.
Agatha's good as well.
It's Marvel.
You lot watching bare things. You lot must get free things. You must get free
I'm
things.
surprised you've been up to the time with this.
Right, going back.
I'm surprised.
Jonathan Majors. Well, Jonathan Majors. Is he a loser? He's probably a loser.
He's a big
Well, I
loser.
wouldn't say loser.
And Jonathan
He's a big
He's got his new girlfriend, wife or fiance.
She paid for his shit.
But he.
But his view on what a winner is.
One
is
second,
so skewed.
because he survived, bruv. Because he came
He
back.
has survived,
He
he has
came. He
survived.
came back and he's come back strong
But
now.
that remember, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was revitalized
Yeah.
with Iron Man.
But
I'm not saying
they're not going to bring him like that.
But he would at least have been in 5 films. He would have had to have been in 5 films.
But they've brought him back.
At least.
Yeah.
Megan Good.
5.
Megan Good.
Yeah.
You're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan Good.
But
Megan's great.
But I think so. Again, another winner is Robert Downey Jr. because he's been cast
Yes.
as a variant of Doctor Doom.
yeah.
Now I don't know how Marvel you man are, but there is a story which is the second best Marvel story in history, which is written by Jonathan Hickman, called Avengers: New Avengers, and then they do this series called
Is anyone else bored?
No.
King Doom, where Doctor Doom becomes God.
God, yeah.
But that is what they're going to do. I guarantee that's what they're going to do, and that's going to be mad. It might even be better than Infinity War.
Let's see. That'll
All
be
right.
interesting.
So to navigate this thing forward, I had to drop a brand in 2024.
Drop a brand.
Yes.
Why?
There's a brand that I supported, which I now no longer support,
Right.
and I dropped them in 2024.
Tell us why. Don't tell us a brand. Tell us why you dropped it.
I'll tell
the
you
brand
why.
as well, though.
Because between myself and my brothers and our age, we've had health issues. And what this brand promotes doesn't support the lifespan of myself and my people. So off the back of that, I've ditched that brand.
All rums.
Matty. Ditched that brand and now no longer support this brand.
So you're not eating kale no more.
You say kale or
Kale.
nothing to do.
What's the brand, blood?
I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Go on.
But it's for me, it's a brand that I'm going to leave in the shadow of 2023
Right.
and move forward in 2025 on past as new. So, for example, 2024, one of the winners is the supplement market. So, Rain,
been talking about it for a
Rain,
long time,
you've been pushing it hard. Vitamin D, vitamin
shares.
K3,
K3 linked to vitamin D, yeah.
vitamin C.
Magnesium.
Do you know what I mean? Magnesium,
Not even vitamin
and we can't even say magnesium.
Celtic salt.
Because magnesium comes under so many different.
Magnesium threonate, or if you want to sleep,
Sulfate.
not sulfate.
For the women?
magnesium citrate. I didn't look at the women's stuff because
Oh yeah, but there's lots. So
Or magnesium baths. Really good as well.
yeah.
So where I'm spending my hard-earned cash has shifted. Do you get what I mean? That's something that's very important to me, which 3-4 years ago I didn't know anything about.
I agree.
So if I can be honest, this is where some of my focus has changed.
You know what I've
Alright.
done, and you lot might think it's mad. So I've been doing
It's
a
mad.
lot of research into red light therapy and grounding.
What is red light therapy?
It sounds like when you go to Holland
Yeah,
I was
it's
thinking-
straight
and you
light.
want to do a thing,
Go on.
Instead
Go
of
to
bursting
the
the
red
thing,
light therapy
you sit
zone.
down and you talk to her.
I don't traverse down them zones in Holland, but safe if you want to do that. So red light therapy is there is a particular frequency of infrared light that you can put onto your body, which is a mutation of what comes from the sun, vitamin
whose
D,
name is
which
Mayana.
will rejuvenate cells in your body. So it will take away bags from under your eyes or dark circles from under your eyes, like blemishes on your skin. It will take away. So Shark, it's like I'm doing the advert. So Shark have got so there's two companies that I know of. So Lumina and Shark, who have released red light therapy masks. So one goes across the face, and what it's supposed to do is to reduce the bags and then the colouring, like the dark circles under your eyes.
You sound like you're on TikTok, blood.
And then, no, but you talk about vitamin D.
you know what I think is? You know the infomercials?
Yeah,
You rate,
brother. I'm
where
like-
the whole big ocular thing, blood, look at the back of my eyes.
But
I
well,
was expecting him to say, yeah, hit my TikTok now, and I've got this week's promotion.
I
Buy
wish-
3, you get 4.
I wish it was on TikTok. It's not on TikTok. And then the other one is like a full face mask. So I follow this guy called Gary Brecker, who is a nutritionist and a biohacker.
I hope they plug you the way you plug them.
So all of the stuff that I'm telling you about Celtic sea salt, about magnesium, vitamin D, I've kind of learnt from him and then done my further research. And he has a bed, which is like a red light therapy bed, and he swears by it. So I'm testing it out. So that's what I've done.
So
You know what,
he made
Rain?
you buy a bed.
Rain.
Bed, no.
Rain.
You can
Sorry.
buy red light therapy beds. I'm not doing that. They're like 20 grand, but they've got masks and different things. But
Rain.
like, no,
I
it is.
need to bring this.
Well, hold on.
Rein this in a bit.
I earn a certain amount of money, right?
can afford-
And we all do. We all earn a certain amount of money. Why are you going to continue to spend your money on things that you use on a daily basis or you do on a daily basis? Why not expect, like, some people travel, some people buy rum, some people buy trainers, some people buy technology.
Yeah, innit?
You know what I mean? Like, live a little, innit? Try things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
All right, Rain.
I mean,
Rain.
someone's
Wait.
selling
Hold
me-
on.
Someone's
Rain,
selling me a
one
20 bags. Someone's selling me a 20 bags bed, and you're gonna say it's gonna get rid of the bags under my eyes.
The thing is, this
That's
technology.
a hard, that's a hard sell.
No, let him finish. But
It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell.
a very hard sell.
It's a very hard sell.
What if it does?
I mean, I'd have to get bags under my eyes
No,
first,
but
and then.
But what if it did? What if it removed the dark circles from under your eyes? This is the point I'm making.
I find it
so
difficult.
what would you spend your money on? Buying a kebab or buying
I-
chicken from a chicken shop? You know what I mean?
No. Like pillows, £90. But that's what I like. That's my thing.
But again, so I've done that. So for a better night's sleep, the curved pillows. I've done not £90, but expensive ones. But I get your point. My point is,
Wait, is he complaining about £90 when he just said 20 bags?
He never said he bought the bed.
I know, but
Say things for jokes.
No, but his reaction.
No. He's gonna buy now, pay later. Don't watch that.
Wait,
But-
you were gonna say something?
Yeah,
sorry.
Serenity.
So first of all, this red light thing is nothing new. Don't get gaslit by this thing, brother. This red light technology has been around for absolutely years. People use it in suntan beds and those kind of things. Doctors use it to treat things like psoriasis.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Brother, there's bag of things. So
I-
I know Rain's a man who does his research.
Exactly. So I'd go out and tell you that what you're describing is completely different.
No,
to
it's
the-
not.
It's
No, it's not.
completely different to the frequencies that
The
they're
red
talking
light
about.
he's talking about is rouge. You're
It's
on a
Amsterdam
mellow
red.
pink, bruv.
Go on, cherry blossom.
I understand.
Go on, show you some
Yeah.
blood.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, but it is completely different.
Rain. It is not, brother. It's that. So hear me out for a second.
I'll hear you.
Not to get too technical, but when you have a lamp, it can produce several colors of ultralight and UV
No,
rays.
you're
And
on
hold
the
on,
wrong track. You're on the
and,
wrong
and
track there.
frequencies. Yeah.
You're on the wrong track. You're on the
Now,
wrong track.
different lights can give you multiple levels of these lights. It's what they use in therapy studios when you have the red lights over the beds. Yeah?
You're wrong again.
Okay.
I think the crux of the matter
This is
is
a conversation outside.
The crux of the matter is in 2025, are you going to spend money
On red
that
lights.
therapy, buddy?
Red light therapy.
No, not red light therapy.
Buddy,
Oh no! Oh, okay. Let me- Hold on. You know what? You know what? Let me rephrase the question. Let me rephrase the question.
Paraphrase it.
Go on.
Not red light therapy. Is there something that you're going to spend your money on differently for the betterment potentially of yourself?
In 2025,
I'll enhance what I've spent. So in 2024, I bought more sorrel. I bought more Celtic sea sorrel, not sorrel.
fizzy or flat?
Hibiscus leaves. I also not rain sorrel.
Apparently, sorrel and hibiscus are two different things.
It's
Oh my days, you man are so ignorant. Google it. Google it right now. Google it right now.
You know,
Google it. No, seriously.
hold on.
Google
For those that are watching on YouTube,
Oh my
make sure you come in the comments. Let us know if they are or
No.
are not the same
No.
thing.
Hibiscus leaves.
Don't just say it. Google it first,
Yeah.
please.
Hibiscus leaves, when they are soaked and especially not boiled. What's the term? When you-
Fermented?
No.
No.
I don't. I'm thinking back to the last podcast.
Well, basically, it's below boil. It's below boiling
Go on.
point.
Simmer.
Go on.
But so the properties you release from the hibiscus leaf in that process is for me what helped me with my high blood pressure.
Okay, cool.
And no.
I listen to people. I don't just
No,
jump in.
I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
So before I was taking it, my blood pressure was up here. Since I was taking it, I went to the doctor. They was like, "Oh, it's down here. The medication's working." I said, "Yo, I'm not taking your medication.
Mad.
I've been drinking this thing here
that I've been making.
that I've been making myself. That I bought on Amazon. That was £18 for a kilo and a half, and that kilo and a half has lasted me 4.5 months.
Mad.
So
Don't mind me asking, how much did it cost? If you don't mind me
This
asking.
is about
something
£18.
like 18, but anything between 18 and 22 pounds.
Okay, kilo, that's good.
So that's what I would recommend. However, the one thing that I will say, and I hope my people listen, is please do not wait for you to get ill to start
To
medicating.
start doing a thing,
You
exactly.
get what I mean?
Exactly.
Sometimes we need to make the medication our diet.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
So don't wait to eat a green leaf meal.
Yep. Do it before it happens.
Do it before it happens.
Okay.
So,
Congo.
so wait, to go back to rain. So as we were saying,
Yes.
sorrel. So hibiscus is a family of plants, and sorrel is a
One,
type
yeah.
of the hibiscus.
Hibiscus. Yeah.
Okay. Tongo, 2025. To answer Rain's question, what are you going to be doing or investing in yourself?
I already have
Yeah.
bought one bag of supplements that I posted in the group.
That's
I started taking them from 1st of January.
Is that taking the lion's mane?
Yeah.
That's the
This is why he's so astute.
No, he was always that though. I always remember when you did the book that you was gonna do, and he had the anagram, and I didn't get it. Yeah, exactly. And that was
did?
before.
So yeah, these are like 7 supplements, but it's about 8 because I've added.
You take
There's like 7
supplements a day?
No, there's 7 that came as like a pack, but I added 2. So they are. I can't remember all of them.
But you take 5 supplements a
Ashwagandha,
day?
lion's mane, magnesium,
Aim.
D3.
What's your aim?
I want to improve my sleep.
Right.
I want to improve my focus.
Yeah.
I want to improve my alertness, and just try and have a better well-being. Plus, obviously I'm on crutches, so I'm just trying to see. I've also, one of my friends, he blends up like an iron, fluorine drink thing that I've also bought. I also bought CMOS. So I know these things are all meant to help things to do with your
Brother.
body
I
and
just have to say, be careful. 'Cause That concoction.
Do you know what's
there
mad?
sounds like you
I
got
was
the
just
shits,
about to
bro.
say. So the crazy thing is not to knock it, but what I would say is introduce one
Yes,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
see how your body reacts,
Yeah.
and then slowly introduce the next
You
one.
get the shits right now. You're not gonna know what's giving it to you.
Start with the vitamin D. That'll be your thing, definitely. And then the ashwagandha or whatever. But start with the vitamin. I agree. One thing, see how it works, and then boom. I agree.
And then you can
100%.
add.
Okay, so let's say I follow that. How long do I see how it works for?
Well,
6 weeks.
yeah, 4 to 6 weeks and see what happens. Because the vitamin D will help you to sleep and help with your energy.
Straight away.
And you'll see that. Like, I've been taking it for a while. My sleep is deep. I used to always wake up at about 2 or 3 o'clock and then be in a light sleep and never get a deep sleep. Now, you can't wake me up.
Russ.
Buddy, what would be your thing for 2025 that you're going to be investing in yourself with?
Just invest in me and my family. Bit of a
That's a
basic
bit
one.
generic.
Yeah, very.
Like,
So we want to just delve a little deeper. Take 2 layers off.
Sorrow, vitamins, red light therapy.
More gym?
Hugging.
More gym.
Yeah.
Rain is anyway.
Go on.
Do you want some time?
no, I don't need more time because it's not going to change my answer. My answer's still going to be the same because it's like, you lot have gone into, I appreciate that everyone's gone into depth into certain things, but I suppose the things that I would say I'm going to invest in, I'm going to be generic with it deliberately because we're on air, I suppose, to say that these are the things I'm going to, just my family and my home life. These are the things that I want to invest in and make bigger and better.
Okay.
Cool,
Ready?
My one's a little bit, again, ever so slightly broken. I want to invest and spend a little bit more time researching, understanding AI.
For what purpose?
To see
Fair for
how.
Terminator.
So
If you don't keep up, you get left behind.
absolutely. So one of the things Citrus said not to go back, and if you missed this, please go back and rewatch the podcast from the start. You were saying that your daughter is left uni and she's finding it hard to find a job. Now, people out here are
The
using
industry-
AI.
the industry
Brother,
she's looking at.
they're using AI for absolutely every aspect that they can. There's a company, I'm not going to promote you, but they have, it's almost like a soft porn website, and all of their characters are AI created. So they don't have to pay for no models, no nothing, no whatever. This is all computer generated. So ultimately, it's free for them to create, obviously, apart from their equipment and knowledge and whatnot, and this is producing their money.
Has anyone heard of the dark internet theory?
No.
So the dark internet theory suggests that 80% of the interactions that you have on the internet are AI.
Do you know what's interesting? I always ask, anytime I get a chatbot, I'll ask them a question that's relevant to the present and the past,
All right.
just to find out.
It's mad. It's a theory.
Just to find out if it's a person or not.
It's a conspiracy theory, but it's one that if you research it, TikTok or Google, there's a big rabbit hole in regards to it. 80% is AI. I don't. Do I need to know about AI? I guess. I'm very John Connor, man. I just the way that it's heading, I just don't trust it all. Like,
But you still need to know and understand how.
The worst thing is, we cannot ignore it.
Yeah.
Because
No,
if you
100%.
ignore it,
yeah, you're done.
just like our forefathers, you will be left behind.
Yeah.
Did anyone hear about the car? There was they got driverless cars in
LA.
California.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah. California.
a man got into the car, and the car
And it
didn't
was
run.
doing, and it was
It
going
didn't let
in
him
circles.
out. It didn't let him out.
Going
Is
around.
that the one that was going in circles?
Yeah.
I believe so.
But you know what? Have you seen the migration from that? So that same company, I don't want to name them, have got a car park where those cars go to at night to park. This car, the software is designed so that if the car gets close to another car, within 3 meters, it blows the horn. All of these cars are coming to park at night. Remember, they're all automated.
Yeah.
It's pulling into the car park, getting close to one of their own cars, and beeping the horn.
Blood, if-
the neighbors are losing their mind.
You know,
Sorry, Wiley. If I ever get into one of them cars and it takes me on a ride, the amount I'm going live, I'm traumatized. You're gonna have to get a helicopter to shoot the car so I can come out the way that I'm claiming against them, man. Because remember, the lawsuits against AI haven't kicked in yet. When those mofos kick in, the money that people are going to be able to get.
Yeah, but you know the small print in it. Do you accept this?
All
app?
I saw,
Yes. Do
all
you
I
just
saw
claim this? Yes.
was there was
yes.
a dude
yes.
in the car,
And he wanted to go to the airport.
and he was on a roundabout,
Yeah, roundabout.
and the car didn't realize what exit to take.
Yeah.
So each time it passed the exit, it recognized the exit if it's passed was the
He's
right
gotta
exit.
go round
So
again.
it would go round, but when it passed another exit, that exit also led it to the same point.
So what'd you do?
So it was saying,
If
well,
you're in there, what'd you
nope, wait a minute, nope, and it was just going around, and
Computer says no.
he was live streaming saying, this thing ain't letting me out. Now I'm missing my flight.
I got to see that.
Well,
How did he get out? Sorry.
You gotta find this. You gotta find this first.
So he phoned them up. They had to take the car offline and bring the car to a secure location for him to get out, and then get another,
Uber.
get an actual. It was Lyft to get a vehicle to take him to the airport.
Sorry, Wiley, just before you come in. So in England, in Islington, they're trialing that because my bedroom,
Wait, driverless cars in Israel?
driverless cars. So what he
I didn't think it was live in London.
He got they're trialing. He got a job to sit in the car while the car drives you, and it's mapping the road and doing all that stuff. The reason why he's in the car is because if it starts to do a madness, you got to take control and control it. This is a proper company. I'm going to find out the company from him, and I'm going to say it today.
I'm taking that job.
okay, so
Get it wrong,
Like,
John Connor.
It was like £30 an hour.
So what's interesting when talking about the AI situation is when we're talking about AI and the involvement of that for 2025 and 2024, there's a big lawsuit, and we're coming up right up to the real end. There's a big lawsuit that Drake's got where he's saying that there were bots involved in the whole Kendrick versus Drake beef, and he's saying the use of bots is what made Not Like Us become the viral song it was. The Meet
That
the
it was a
Grams,
good song.
you're not the songs. He's claiming that it was bots. Now, what's interesting about it, and I don't want to go too deep into
So
it.
he said something like, imagine Nike
Yep.
going against LeBron James if he cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Now,
did see
what's interesting about it is everybody's coming out and saying, but that's what you've been using for the past 15 years to get yourself at the top. So the reason why because he's going against his own paymasters, I forget, is it Universal Music Group he's going against? Yeah. They've given him a $400 million contract. He's suing them, saying that they were there funding and backing the whole beef, and they were using bots to ensure that his songs were staying down and Kendrick's songs were going up. But what it's exposing is that that's what the music game was doing for years to keep him where it was. So is alleged. On the last couple minutes, though, as we're coming right to the end of the podcast, 2025, one thing only, what do you think is going to be the big thing for 2025 this year?
AI.
So he's jumped out and said it's AI.
No, it's the way it's going to be implemented into daily life around you without you actually even realizing is going to be crazy over the next couple of years. People will be talking to AI, not realizing.
Well, the thing is if you look at all your mobile phones, AI has been integrated seamlessly into it so much, you're not even thinking, like even cameras, everything.
Do you know what I have
all the chat GBT, all the note-taking stuff that happens, it's all in there. It's now becoming a commonplace thing in society and in our lives. We don't even recognize it.
Do you know what I would compare it to?
What's up?
I would compare AI to Bluetooth. When Bluetooth came out, hear me out for a minute, ever so slightly broken. When Bluetooth came out, even if the product didn't need it, the fact that they've put Bluetooth on the box or on the package made you buy it. It made it a little bit more futuristic. Yeah, we've got this washing machine and it's got Bluetooth. But okay, all I can do is start the washing machine. But that made it more interesting for you to buy. Yeah. It's the same thing with these things now. There are fridges with AI. All right, what does the AI do? It tells you every time you open a fridge, and it tells you what the temperature is in the fridge and stuff like that. Now people are buying this.
I think Bluetooth was a bit more revolutionary.
I saw a fridge that said, if you put your shopping list on the fridge, it will tell you
It'll order your shopping.
what you need to order. What you need to order without opening your fridge door. So the food inside the fridge will never have to change temperature.
And it will link
It
to your
will.
account.
It will say to you, "Woof, order this."
Yeah, your milk is low. Yeah, on your next shopping, it's coming in. So that's why I say
Can't lie. Even I saw a fridge like that and said, "Oh yeah, I started getting
it's
interested."
if you want to sell a product, you say it's got AI on it, all of a sudden people are buying it.
I think Bluetooth. I could be wrong. I think Bluetooth was a bit revolutionary. I remember being in university and there was a lecturer, and I'm going to shout him out, John Gander, and this is when, you know, when they had the
John Gander?
John Gander, yeah.
Did he go by the name of Goosey?
No, this was a man that was wearing the turtleneck thing before them man.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
okay, fair enough.
Anyway, he said Bluetooth is going to be the future, and he said I'll put my life on it, and what he was talking about was the integration between all the devices. And if you think about it, Bluetooth integration is just in everything. And I'm not saying AI won't be, but I think AI is more of an intelligence and a brain. Bluetooth is functional, where it's like I can control that camera from here, or I can put my screen or what I'm watching on that screen.
So,
I'm
Ray,
not sure AI is going to be that without Bluetooth.
do you not believe to yourself, and this is where I slightly do agree with Sorelli, do you not think to yourself that AI is going to take over?
Oh, no, 100%. What are you talking about when if it becomes sentient and understand?
It's already there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Did you watch the Samsung flipping expo where they've got Samsung are now doing AI in all their appliances?
Yeah.
And now they've also got it in yachts. So things like, for example, for those who know about aviation, if you want to take off in a plane and you're the pilot, you have to do your checklist. You've got to go everything. You've got to check your flaps. You've got to do all these kind of things. You can now do this with your yacht, with your AI. So instead of you coming to your yacht and saying, okay, I've got to be here half an hour early because I've got to do my pre-launch checks, press a button and the AI, or speak to your AI, and your AI will do all those pre-checks for you. So when you get there, you can set off immediately.
But again, so to answer your question, I'd be worried about it. I remember there's two things. I remember reading or watching a thing in an expo. No, I think it was either Jimmy Kimmel or somebody basically said, right, he was talking to AI, asking him questions, and in the questions he was talking about the human race. The thing said, you lot are a virus and you should be exterminated, or something along those lines. There was another thing where AI was set by scientists 12 questions which were impossible to answer. The AI changed the questions and gave itself more time to answer the questions. That's all mad.
Right.
On
So,
my friend's status, randomly, they got like some fridge where there's like, it seemed like the phone call they was receiving or partaking in was on the fridge door.
Yeah, that's standard behavior.
I was baffed.
That's what you call it, demolition man, innit?
No, this is standard. This is
So-
standard. The fridges and these things.
Crazy.
so 2025, what's going to be the big story or big thing, buddy?
I mean, I was going because he said AI. I'm not going to say AI. I'm going to say some other scandal for some other artists now is going to come out very soon. That's what I would say.
Tongo?
Vybz Kartel was going to come UK.
Okay.
It's doing wireless. We already know that.
Citrus?
It's going to be wearable or integrated tech.
Rain?
For example,
Sorry, go on.
so-
Go on.
for example, implant of a chip or glasses, like Google glasses will come out.
It's already out.
Blow. Does anyone else want to go about it? Or?
Go on.
Cool. So the glasses are gonna integrate and blow, or a hat, or a Bluetooth device. You know what I mean, like a ring or a headset, something like that. In my opinion, is what I think is going to be next, and it's going to become integral. And if you don't, the crazy thing is those that will be affected the most is the ones that don't have it versus the ones that do have it.
Okay. Rain?
Assassinations. I reckon there will be 2 major wholesale assassinations this year.
When you say wholesale assassination, what do you
This
mean?
kind of conversation. All right, just keep on moving.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, just keep
Right, because you know the funniest thing? I'm not going to name any names,
God, you
but
can't.
I'm going to link it to what Buddy said. I'm going to link it to what Rain said. I think somebody is going to be involved in a scandal, major scandal, if they're not already. They're going to start talking and exposing things, And before they can get to expose everything, we won't hear from them
crash.
again. That's what I think. I think last year was the time of people getting exposed for being involved in things. This year is the time we're going to start to hear about stories of these people and factual stories. So that's what I would say.
All right, let's move on from that. we want to be here next week. So I would say that this year, the crypto market is going to be doing a madness.
Wow.
Donald Trump coming into power, the market is going to go crazy.
Well, thing is, what is it? What's the crypto on it again? What is the one? The Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
So 100,000. Was it $100,000 or something? Recently,
It's gone back down.
it was something like recently, innit? So
No, but
we'll
you
see.
remember all of them betas that were trying to sell these little groups and get everybody involved. They all disappeared for a year and a half to 2 years, innit? Now, all of a sudden
now they come back in. I told you so.
Yeah.
I told you so.
All of them are now adding you to groups. Yeah. Let's invest in Bitcoin. So
The thing is, I got some crypto in something somewhere. My brother told me to do it, so I've left it. I think I put about £100 in it across 3 coins. Let's see.
no, a madness is going to happen.
I got one.
It's going to be everybody's millionaires
know how to get
for exactly 3 seconds, and then bam, it's going to go down.
You
Some
know,
madness like
you know, I'll never forget a number of years ago, and it's still there now. There's a couple Bitcoin machines. I think there's one in Walthamstow. I remember I saw one and it said it had a Bitcoin for £800 and something. I thought, £800 and something for that? And I'd seen it had gone from about £300 and something to that, and I thought, nah, man, that's way too expensive.
Wish you took it now, though, didn't it?
Well, I don't wish I took it, but I look at it and I think it shows, it shows about opportunities and taking them. Take your opportunities while you can, because you never know what may or may not work for you. So,
Please do not take financial advice from the MT.
not
That
yes.
is a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Because I do want to ask the question of the Bitcoin, who regulates it? If it turns off tomorrow,
But that's the whole point, isn't it?
Well,
that is not regulated. Yeah,
that's gonna be part of what we're talking about in 2025. 2025 MT podcast. We have got major plans. We got some guests coming on this year.
Mad thing.
We have a lot of integrated interactions with people that are watching the podcast. We're moving into 2025 full steam ahead. Make sure you catch us on the Instagram. Catch us on the YouTube. Loads of clips going up and everything right now. Catch us on the TikTok. And this is going to be the year of the MT podcast.
Yeah.
100%. But this has been the MT podcast. Don't forget, if the glass ain't half full,
It's
empty.
Russ.
Oh,
the
brother.
glass on his
All over
foot.
himself.
All over himself.
Brother.